Greetings cats and kittens, welcome once again to Baggy Hi-Fi, this YouTube channel devoted to record collecting and the vinyl community here in the UK. We're now in the middle of October 2023 and the title of this video is the autumn in tray, appropriately enough. But you will have seen at the beginning of this video some shots from a day trip to Whitby that I made recently. I always like going to Whitby in the autumn. And Whitby is a coastal town in North Yorkshire, here in the UK, in England, and it's quite famous for a lot of things. Famous for it being featured in Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, and hence I think the association with goths with Whitby. And there's a week, I think it's this month in Whitby, they have a goth week where all the goths congregate and walk around wearing interesting outfits. Now it's a bit misleading that I included those shots of Whitby. I wanted to just show you, as I was flicking through a few records. The disappointing thing about this trip to Whitby recently was that my favourite record shop has closed down. It was in the indoor market, and it was a shop within the indoor market. That's closed, and the shot I showed of me looking through the records was from an antique shop and didn't find anything. So the reason why I guess it's a bit misleading that I showed the Whitby footage is that I didn't buy anything from Whitby. But I hope you enjoyed the footage. I always know that Steve Carlson likes to see a few shots of bits of England, as Steve often shows bits of where he lives. So hope you enjoyed that. The records I'm going to show I mainly bought online, and that's the case with these first two records. Now, as you know, if you watch Baggy Hi-Fi fairly regularly, I'm a big fan of English Psych, English pop Psych, and I do have this series on CD, and I have another vinyl copy, but this is my only second copy I've managed to find in the Circus Days series. And this is put out on a label called Strange Things Are Happening. This compilation came out in 1990 of 60s pop psych obscurities, put together by the people behind Bam Caruso. But this series is different from their Rubble series, a little bit more obscure. Often tracks from acetates have never been transferred onto full public release before. And this is, not sure which volume this is. Yeah, volume 1, 1966 to 1970, Pop Psych Obscurities. And it's an excellent compilation. Really was happy to get such a lovely copy of this via Discogs for only £10. See it going for at least twice as much, or even 3 times as much. But on here, I suppose the best known track would be Peter Cook and Dudley Moore from their film, classic psychedelic 60s film, Bedazzled. And also on here, there's no one else really very well known. Vashti Bunyan has a track towards the end of side 2. Arzakel, the band that predated, Canterbury band that predated Egg, are on here with the track Garden of Earthly Delights, fantastic tune from 1969. And there's I think it's a Dutch psych prog group called Waterloo who are on here as well. Now the track I'm going to feature as a needle drop is going to be Johnny Burton's Pole Vault Man. All the girls quiver and sigh as they see me launch myself into the sky. Strange lyrics and very sort of Lennon-esque vocals. So I hope you enjoy the needle drop from this Circus Days Psych comp. And sticking with the 60s, I spotted this compilation, double album of Status Quo, a collection of their Pi years. And there are quite a few compilations knocking around of early Quo material, but the reason why I was interested in this one is that on side A there's tracks that they recorded before they were Status Quo, and even before they had their psychedelic hits, fantastic psychedelic hits like Pictures of Matchstick Men, Black Veils and Melancholy. Love that one. Ice in the Sun, fantastic. They're all very similar but brilliant. Yeah, side A is really intriguing. It has sort of garagey R&B tracks by their very earliest incarnation, the Spectres, and then two really good tracks when the band were called Traffic Jam, as they were just about kind of going into their psychedelic period. They changed the name from Traffic Jam to the Status Quo because there was another band, as you know, knocking around called Traffic. But I'm going to include a needle drop of a tune when they were Traffic Jam called Almost But Not Quite There, which caused a bit of controversy because of the saucy lyrics. What does it say here? Having discovered psychedelia, the band adopted the name Traffic, but were forced to change it to Traffic Jam to avoid confusion with Steve Winwood's Traffic. Banned by the BBC, that single on Pi was banned by the BBC because the lyrics written about a woman's sexual fulfillment were, in quotes, too suggestive. So I'm going to do a needle drop of that. Quite a lot of info on the band, and this goes up to the Mark Kelly's Greasy Spoon period really, and as they went into their 12-bar boogie phase, which lasted the rest of their career really. Some great examples of that on here: In My Chair, Gudundula, Mean Girl, Down the Dustpipe. Fantastic compilation. Really pleased to have this comp of the Quo and their early incarnations as well. It's on Music on Vinyl label, and the vinyl is white vinyl. I was not keen on white vinyl because it means it's quite hard to find the tracks. Anyway, needle drops next.
When on the television, I'm the medic of bed. I am the just don't know what to do to take you when you're feeling good, to love you like I know I should. It makes me feel all 10 feet tall. So I just try to get to you all that I can to satisfy you. I don't like to leave you, girl, almost but not quite there.
Now, some VCLT, which I was very grateful to receive, and it was a lovely surprise from Pete from Sounds from the West Coast channel over in Cumbria. He sent me 2 records very kindly, and also a book, and the book was the Mammoth Book of Best New Horror. Don't forget that Pete, as well as having his vinyl community channel, also has a channel called West Coast Book Addict. Anyway, I've read quite a bit of this, so very grateful to receive this. Thank you, Pete. It includes short stories by quite a lot of well-known writers like Neil Gaiman, Kim Newman, Clive Barker, but also one writer who is becoming one of my favourite horror writers, Liverpool's finest, Ramsey Campbell. So thank you for that, Pete. And the VCLT, I received the 2 records. This is one of them, One More Chance. It's a Charisma label sampler from the days when it was the Mad Hatter label, and it's a great, very nice condition collection of the roster of artists on the Charisma label at the time. Of course, Genesis are on here, but with the track Happy the Man. Monty Python are on here with Eric the Half B, Audience, Clifford T. Ward with Wherewithal, Alan Hull, solo from Lindisfarne, and of course Lindisfarne are on here, Rare Bird, The Nice, Jack the Lad, and String Driven Thing, and fantastic to have Theme 1, that instrumental prog classic by Van de Graaff Generator. So that's a very nice Charisma comp sampler. Now the other record, and Pete did mention that I have been listening to a lot of Dungeon Synth, and I've also been featuring it on this channel. Thought I might like this, which I do, and it's on the Rise Above label, which is usually a kind of a metal label, but it's by Zoltan, and Zoltan presents Tombs of the Blind Dead. Now what this band have done, and I think they're a London-based instrumental band, they've interpreted themes from 4 70s Euro horror films created by, who was the director? D'Ossorio? Yes, D'Ossorio. Tombs of the Blind Dead, Spanish horror director. And the films were Tombs of the Blind Dead, Return of the Blind Dead, The Ghost Galleon, and Night of the Seagulls. Yeah, trio from interpreting musical themes by Anton Garcia Abril, adapted by Zoltan. So what can you expect to hear on here? Heavy, goblin-esque instrumentals with deep bass and churning synth and percussion. Extremely spooky, of course, very appropriate for this season that we're in at the moment, the spooky season as we go towards Halloween. Haven't seen the films themselves, but I believe they've just been issued on Blu-ray. So thank you for that. Zoltan VCLT from Pete from Sounds from the West Coast. Thanks very much. Finally, been waiting for this one for quite a while because it seemed to be delayed in its release. The return of the Paisley Underground Band from California, Rain Parade. I was so pleased. One of my favourite bands. I'm very keen on that period in the 80s when a group of bands came out, including the Bangles, Rain Parade. So this one, we were hearing that via the music press that they were returning with another album, and here it is. It's called Last Rays of a Dying Sun. Legendary Paisley Underground Band return, featuring founding members and songwriters Matt Piucci, Stephen Roback and John Toman. It says it remains loyal to the hypnotic psychedelic stylings and hook-filled melodies for which the band is well known. Guest appearances from the Bangles, Debbie and Vicky Peterson. It's on vivid blue vinyl, and it's a slow burner. It took me quite a while for the tunes to sink in, but trademark sparkling, sinuous psychedelic guitar lines, owing a lot to the 60s, of course, but beautiful chiming melodies. It really gets under your skin, so I'm so pleased that they've returned to make a full-length album, The Rain Parade, Last Days of a Dying Sun, and I'm going to include a needle drop from that. So hope you've enjoyed watching this autumn intro. Hope you're enjoying the season of autumn. We've had some lovely sunny but cold days this week. Not much rain yet, not much wind yet, so fingers crossed that we can have a few more weeks of this season of mist and mellow fruitfulness. Hope everyone is keeping well. Thanks for watching this video. Bye for now.